what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share with you my 5 favorite non-commissioned shop builds that I've done. This is going to be guitars that I bought on eBay or Reverb or whatever, and then I got them in the shop, I came up with an idea, bought all the parts myself, executed it, and then sold it. So this is not going to include any guitars that customers sent in to me with their own ideas. This is just going to be ones that I came up with. Now I will make another video that's going to have my top favorite customer builds, which are guitars that customers sent in to me. They had their ideas already and I built what they wanted. So that'll be coming soon, watch for that. As you're watching the video, let me know your thoughts on the guitars and leave your comments down below. I like to hear that stuff. Also, I encourage you to hit that like button right now and be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time a new video drops here on the channel. Now, my 5th favorite shop build that I did here was the Splatter Wolfgang. It was an EVH gear standard Wolfgang, and I bought it because I wanted to customize a Wolfgang for myself that I could play any type of metal on. The pickups that come in Wolfgangs are great, but I wanted something with a EMG 81 in the bridge, a Killswitch, and a brutal paint job. Most of the time with Wolfgangs I end up doing EVH style paint jobs and stripes and all that, but I wanted something super metal, and for this one I did a blood splatter paint job. I'd never seen a blood splatter Wolfgang before, so I made it happen. I painted this one black and did like a dark red crimson style blood splatter on it, and I really liked the way this one turned out. It was really fun to do. Of course I did a matched headstock, which also turned out so cool in my opinion, and I even matched the pickup. So it was an EMG 81 that I threw in the bridge. EMGs are a little more squared than a standard bridge pickup from a Wolfgang, so I had to do a little bit of routing to get the EMG to fit in there, and I thought it looked so cool. I also added an Iron Age kill switch with a red LED and a red D-tuna on it. Plus, in the neck pickup cavity, I put a red shotgun shell in, and to me the whole guitar's vibe was just so cool. I could play Metallica songs on it with the EMG 81, of course I had the Floyd Rose, the D-tuna, so it had like a mix of EVH, Metallica, and my own style with like the splatter and whatnot on it, so that was just a really fun guitar. I had somebody offer me a good number for it, and I had to let it go. So I've been too busy to build myself another Wolfgang, but one day I will, and maybe it'll have to be like an alien blood splatter Wolfgang. This was also one of the first guitars that I put a heavy clear coat over the splatter, so you couldn't feel the splatter on it, and it had a real smooth texture, and yeah, I loved that guitar. Alright, number 4 on my list is going to be the green FRANKENSTRAT that I did. That was a really fun one. I did it on a Charvel SoCal model, a newer one, and it played so good. Charvels are amazing. If you've played a Charvel, you know that they have amazing necks on them, the feel of them. The sound of that guitar was incredible. That one had a Lundgren Heaven 77 bridge pickup in it. I had a 1986 quarter on it because that's my birth year. And this one is another one that I built for myself because I always could picture a green FRANKENSTRAT in my head. I had never really seen anybody do one, and I'm guessing somebody has done one at some point and probably never put pictures of it on the internet, but it turned out really cool, I thought. It was just a really cool bright green. It had a 1984 Floyd Rose on it that I had got used on eBay that was all worn out and relict, and I think this green one was relict too. Yeah, I could see the black and white through there is relict. The whole guitar came together just really nice. The chrome hardware on it, the Iron Age kill switch with the green LED. I, of course, did the tone knob for the volume, and big eye bolt strap locks. I did a couple really cool unique things with this one. If you look at the neck cavity, you can see I painted a single coil pickup cover green to match the body, and I also put in a green Bic lighter. Bic lighters are like something for some reason I thought of to do and put into cavities when I do EVH FRANKENSTRAT style guitars, because Eddie threw in like the selector switch and the single coil pickup, which wasn't connected anymore, and I thought that was kind of cool that he just put stuff in there. I don't fully remember how I came up with the idea to put a lighter, but I put a lighter in there and a lot of people thought it was interesting, and I figured, you know, Eddie liked to smoke. Who doesn't want to light up a cigarette, a cigar, a joint, something once in a while? So a lighter always comes in handy. Maybe you got to light something up, I don't know. So I thought the lighter was a cool touch. And in the middle pickup cavity on this one is actually a really cool lipstick container that my now fiance gave me at the time. And I put it in there with a zip tie, a green zip tie, just kind of tied everything together. When I eventually sold the guitar, I had somebody, another person, give me a really good offer on it that I couldn't pass up. All these guitars I started selling right after I started having kids, so I figured I wanted to make this into a business, and you don't make it into a business by hoarding guitars. So when people started offering me prices on certain ones, you know, ones that I haven't had since I was a kid, these are all guitars that I had built recently, and I figured if I ever need another green Frankenstrat, I can make myself one. If I ever need another Splatter Wolfgang, I'll make myself one. I feel like I got my fill by having these guitars for quite a while and then selling them, and it feels really good to sell them. Number one, that somebody wants your work. Number two, that they get it and they love the guitar. And then to see them enjoying it on their Instagram, it's just so cool to me. And then I get to move on and keep building other crazy ideas that I come up with. So I like buying and selling them. It's fun. This was definitely one of the ones that was most memorable because it was one that I had in my head for so long and I wanted to try. And when I finally put it out there, people loved it. So I'm really happy I did this one. All right, number 3. This one is pretty insane. This is the Alien Blood Hackson. Many of you have probably seen the video of me putting my Jackson PS4 through a bandsaw and slicing off the bottom horn. I actually still have the bottom horn pieces around here. I put out a video here on this channel, and I should link to it down below. It says how to mod your guitar really easily to get higher fret access. But yeah, I sliced that horn off, and to be honest, a couple people have had me do it to their guitars since then. I also like just the raw idea of slicing a horn off a guitar. I mean, it's a crazy mod to do. So with this one, that's the first thing you notice when you look at this guitar probably. I mean, the paint job's pretty flashy too. The paint job on this one was my first flat black paint job with semi-gloss green alien blood. You could see it like kind of coagulated. It's one of the first splatters I had really done, and I love the way it turned out. This thing looks so sick to me. I paired the body up with a dinky reverse neck from like a 93 Jackson dinky reverse. I still have that dinky reverse, but I got this PS4 neck on it. You rarely come by these types of maple necks for Jacksons. It's a 1993 Professional series. And another really cool thing about this guitar was that it had black chrome hardware. I got this hardware off an LTD MH1000 that I had rebuilt, and it was my green one that I flipped into gold hardware. So I took all the used hardware that was on that one, slid it over to this guitar, and yeah, I think that the black chrome hardware looked really cool with this finish. I also had Buried Alive Killswitch on there, so you'll notice that those were limited edition. They've done a second run of those, and I swooped up a couple more because this was the only one I had. And then look at that pickup setup. So this guitar had the craziest pickup setup I'd ever seen on a guitar, I think. It actually has 5 pickups. It looks like it has 3. It looks like it's HSH because that's what the guitar originally was. So it actually has, in the bridge position, a mini humbucker and a single coil smushed into one pickup ring. Look close there, and that is a Little Screamin' Demon. Seymour Duncan's Little Screamin' Demon bridge pickup, and then an SSL5 smashed into one pickup ring. Then in the center, we got the SSL1, and then up in the neck, we have, again, 2 pickups. We have a humbucker and a single coil mounted in a single pickup ring. Yeah, this was just a crazy guitar. Really fun one to put together and completely over the top. All right, now we're coming down to guitar number 2, my second favorite custom guitar that I've thought up and brought to life, and it's the Lizard LTD. I love this guitar. This could even be number 1. I'm not sure. These two might be interchangeable, but I don't know. It's really tough. I love these types of LTDs. The M100s, this is a made in Korea model. I went with the EMG HSH setup. The middle pickup is actually an SLV, which is the Steve Lukather model. And then we got the, I think it's an 8185 humbuckers, Floyd Rose original. We got an Iron Age Killswitch with the green LED and the matched headstock. The headstock logo is black with a nice neon green shadow, which is really cool. And then the paint job is just really cool. So it was inspired by a childhood toy of mine, a little alligator, which is green and yellow. And I always wanted to do a green to yellow burst. Another really cool thing about it was I shot the clear. And when you do crackle, you need to put a lot of clear on because the crackle separates from the base color, and that's why you see those cracks. And the levels are all over the place. So when you spray clear on it, your clear is going up and down all these mountains, all these little ridges, and you need to spray some clear, let it dry, level sand it, spray some more clear, and usually level sand it and polish it from there. Sometimes you need to go a third session, but this one, I did the first session of clear, and it came out so glass and smooth but you could feel the texture of the crackle. But it felt so smooth and cool. It felt like a snake. It felt like a lizard skin or something like that, a reptile. So I felt like with this color combination that it looked like that and felt like that, I had to leave the texture on there. And it's something I plan to do on future guitars too. Yeah, this Lizard LTD, I love this thing. This was one of my favorites. It's one of the ones that I would have loved to keep, but I don't need to have 50 guitars like I used to. I'm down to like 20, and I think that's a fair number. Now, I'm guessing some of the hardcores might know what my favorite is. Like I said, it could be tied with the Lizard, but this Rhoads, man, the Tiger Rhoads, the original one I did, this is pre-Trash to Thrash, and it's my first guitar that I did a real heavy clear coat on with a multicolor stripe job, and everything came out very smooth and glassy. I love this one. When I look back at it, man, I remember the feeling of looking at this guitar, and I couldn't believe that I had done this. I had made this guitar. It's a Jackson RR3 made in Japan. Some of my favorite Jacksons are the Japanese line. So the Tiger Rhoads, I love the finish on this thing. I love the way it came out. It's got the shark fin inlays. It's got the EMG 81TW and 89R pickups, which means it's got push-pull switches under the volume and the tone. And that actually gives it coil tapping on EMGs, which you can't usually just wire up EMGs to do coil tapping. It also had an Iron Age Killswitch with an orange LED, which looked awesome. Had the Floyd Rose on it. Killer guitar. So that's another one I sold when I started to sell all the custom creations off that I had made, because I was just starting to get big into rebuilding guitars. I'm pretty sure I sold this in November or December of like 2020, right before I launched Trash to Thrash. And this was one of the guitars that helped me build my business, buy a bunch of tools, buy some extra camera equipment. This and a couple of the Alien Blood Splatter and the white Rhoads I had done with the red Splatter. Those three all sold within like a month. And that's what gave me the money to buy a bunch of tools and get the business really rolling. So when I look at it, I do miss it, but at the same time, I appreciate it because it brought me something bigger than just it. And also, I was willing to get rid of this guitar because the LTD Arrows had just come out a little bit before that. And I wanted to put this paint job on an LTD Arrow. So I figured I'm going to get an LTD Arrow one day. I'm going to do this paint job to it. And it's taken me until now, a year and a half to find LTD Arrows for a good price. Since they're a newer guitar, people are buying them and holding on to them. And I really only wanted like a 1000 or a 400 model, and I recently picked up a 401. So, but yeah, man, that's the Lizard LTD, the Tiger Rhoads. I mean, these 5 guitars, they were a lot of fun to build. Very sentimental, and it's so cool to know that those are sitting in people's collections now and getting played. Which one of these 5 was your favorite? Let me know down in the comments. I appreciate you guys watching. I will see you guys very soon. Remember to hit the like button, hit that subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, and I will see you guys very soon. Rock on, my friends.